Hey guys, Josh here with Forex Profit Model, and I want to give you guys a quick preview of what I'm going to be looking for when the market opens tonight. And so we'll start with the Aussie dollar. We're going to run through about 10 pairs. So the Aussie dollar, we have some really nice bullish divergence in this area. We had some right here, and it didn't really go anywhere. We got some more here. Got a double bottom in here, and this is really nice. And these lines in here are 4-hour support and resistance. So, and we're at the bottom of a channel here. If I go up to the 4-hour, we've got my support and resistance lines in here, and we're at the bottom of a channel. And so my expectation is that this is going to pop. And go back down to the 15-minute chart. What I'm going to be looking at is if I can get a nice signal above 104.21, then I am going to be looking for a long trade up to, let's see, what is this, 104.45, 104.46, and then possibly 104.60. Now, if price gets up here to 104.45, 104.46, somewhere around there, we could see it bounce back down, or we could see it stall. Now, what I'd be expecting, price to actually hit 104.60 and then bounce around between these two levels of support and resistance. These are going to be strong areas of resistance right now, and these are going to be some great places for the market to find some issues for price to really struggle. And if we can get a break above this, a pullback, then over the next couple of days we could see a move back to the top of the channel, up here to this trend line, or up to, looks like 105.18. So somewhere around in there. But that's what I'll be looking for. I don't expect price to drop too much. If it does, if we get another big day, price could fall off another, looks like about 120 pips. So that could very well be in the cards. But we've had a big rundown. We're at the bottom of a channel, and I'm expecting price to pop back up a little bit based on this bullish divergence here. If I go to the Euro Pound, we got a couple of things going on. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. We've got a little channel right here that we can that we're in. It's kind of a sideways channel. It's down, but it's kind of sideways. I've got my support and resistance lines in here, and Friday we bounced off of this area right here at 78.43. We bounced off of that, and it looks like we're trying to push back up. So if I go back to the 15-minute chart, what could happen? You can see price came back down, passed through this, and then came back up. We could see price move back down to this area. Looks like 78.43, and then we could see it move back up to the upper side of the channel, or even up to this area of resistance, 78.74. So we could see that. We could see it move down and then move back up, or price could just pop, straight up and then come back down. But these are going to be the points of interest for Monday: 78.74 and 78.43. So there's about a 30 pip gap there. So we're going to be looking for trades, off of these areas. So that's what I'll be looking for. On the Euro Yen, right now we are moving sideways. We've got about a 62 pip range, which is pretty decent. We could see, if we get a short signal in this area, we could see a move back down here for about 30 pips. If we get a long trade in here, we could see move up here for, again, maybe about 30 pips. This is the this is going to be right at the market open that we're going to be looking at this. And overall, if we go to the daily, we've got a nice, we've got something, that we're definitely making a nice move upwards. We can kind of draw a channel here. Let me see if I can do this. So, there's kind of our channel. Now we look like we're heading to the top of it. Friday, though, we hit the top. This is our range right in here, and so we're having some issues here. We poked this and we poked it again. This one down here, and so we're kind of stuck right now. Now, if we can get a break above this, if we can get a strong move upwards, maybe over the next couple of days, we could see a break above this, a pullback, and then a nice long trade. Initially up to the upper channel line for about 160 pips, possibly even all the way up here to 101.60. So that might take a couple of days though, because that's a from where resistance is now all the way up to the next resistance is about 318 pips. So that'd be a really big day. But it can happen. You never know. Something horrible could happen in Europe, or something great could happen in Europe. You never know. Here we got the EURUSD 15-minute chart. Right now we are stuck in a range, a very tight range. We had a nice move down on Friday. This is Friday between these vertical lines here. This is Friday, so we had a very nice move down. Okay, and these are these lines in here are legitimate support and resistance off of the 4-hour chart. These aren't things that I drew in here based on Friday's information. This is going back quite a ways. All this stuff is showed up on my charts long before we got to Friday, long before we got to today. So based on that, we're going to need to see a breakout here. Okay, and we're in a range of about 10 pips. So we're either going to see a lot of sideways action, a very choppy market in here, or we're going to see a breakout. Essentially what I'd like to see is I'd like to see a breakout, a move back to test 123.36, and then a move back up to 123.73. Or if we get some downside action, I'd like to see a break of 123.24, a pullback, and then a move down to 122.87. So we're going to need to get outside of this range before that happens. So once the market breaks out of this range, if we get a signal as it breaks out, then we can take a long trade, and we'll have a decent stop. We can put our stop loss the other side of the range, and let price do its thing and then move up. I haven't looked at the news yet, so I don't know what's coming up, but you'll definitely want to check that out before you take trades based off of any analysis. Check the news, and if there's high impact news coming out for anything, then you're going to want to skip it. Just work on pairs that have no high impact stuff. But that's what I'm looking for on the EURUSD. As far as targets go, I'm looking for 123.73 or 122.87 for my targets. So if we get some move upwards, we're going to target this. Move down, it's going to target this, and there's about 35 pips to the downside, and about 37 pips to the upside. So either one is going to give us. That'll give us some nice movement. Going to the euro yen, or pound yen, I'm sorry. This is just garbage, quite frankly. We are just stuck in a very sideways range here. We've been stuck sideways now for, we got into this area on Thursday actually. So from late Thursday all the way up until right now, we've been sideways. So what we're gonna need to see, if we get a short signal, we can think about taking it down to the bottom here at 124.51. That would be a nice target for a sell trade. If we get a break to the upside, though, if we get a breakout up here and a subsequent pullback to give us a nice clean entry, we could see 125.26, and if the market's strong enough, 125.51, and that'd be a nice 60 pip run all the way to the top there. That'd be a nice 60 pip run. That'd be cool. Otherwise, medium term is we got about 35 pips. So if we get some early action here in the Asian session when that opens up, and we could definitely see some nice movement here. So you might want to keep an eye on that. Again, though, if we get a short trade off of this, I'm kind of draw a trend line here. If we can get a bounce off of this across of this trend line and a nice clean short entry, we could nail about 30 pips. And I would expect it to bounce back up. On the 4-hour chart, we've had some very nice movement upwards. The daily, again, the same thing, but again, we are at some really heavy resistance in this area. We've got back here, we've definitely got some issues with this price. Here again. It wants to break it, and it seems to want to stay on one side or the other. Okay, so let me drop the 15-minute chart again. So when we get up to this area, we are really going to find some major issues. We may not get that far. Price may be, taking a look at this, at these areas and saying, yeah, I'm not so sure I want to be that high anymore. That's a 125.50 is a pretty solid level, and right now we're at 124.84. So 125 is really our area of interest. It's going to be a big issue. We could see a break as high as 125.50, or we could see the market continue to go sideways and stay within this 40 pip range, or we could see a breakdown around 123.97, so right around 124. So that gives us some pretty broad movement to look for. The pound dollar, we could really kind of do anything on this one. Let's go to the daily. On the daily chart, we're definitely hitting some resistance here. Okay, but we're kind of stuck in a range. We've bounced off of these areas. We got here on Thursday. This was Thursday. This big green candle. We couldn't get out of this area on Thursday. We couldn't get out of it on Friday. And even over the last week or so, once we broke into this area, we could not, close outside of it. So I might expect a little bit more sideways action. On the 4-hour chart, again, we've got quite a bit of issue here. We're at support, so we're kind of right in the middle here. It could do just about anything. If we get a break upwards, if we get a clean signal upwards, we could see about 30 pips movement up here, up to the second line here, about 40 pips, and all the way to the top here, about 56 pips, about 56 pips. To the downside, though, we've got about 30 pips, about 25 pips worth of movement here. So we really need to wait for price to do something. If we get a clean signal off of this level to the short side, we can see down here, okay, down to 156.69, 156.70, somewhere around there. If it breaks below that and we get another clean short signal, we could see all the way down to this trend line, which is about a 65 pip drop. Or we could see all the way down here, which is about 90 pips. So that would be 155.77. So those are our areas of interest here. First, our immediate areas, 157.24, then 157.33, and 156.69. So we want to keep those in mind. On the New Zealand dollar, this one mirrors the Aussie dollar as far as their correlation goes, but this one I'm not thrilled about this one. I like the look of the Aussie dollar a little better. Let me show you that one real quick again. This one just looks nice. This one I get. I get this one. This one, not so much. It's more sideways action here. If we were to draw a trend line, we've already broken the trend line, but we're not really doing a whole lot. However, what I'd like to see for this one, if we get a clean short signal off of 80.77, we could see a move down to 80.41, possibly even 80.35. So that gives us about 35 to 40 pips to the downside. Now, if we get a break above this level and a pullback and a nice clean entry somewhere above this level, somewhere above 80.77, we could see, 35, 40 pips to the upside. Anywhere between 35 and 45 pips to the upside. We could also see 81.37 all the way back up here, but we'd have to get past this first. And these are major areas of support and resistance. So I'd be interested in targeting this first one, 81.12 it looks like. And if it keeps going, then I'd look for another entry up to 81.37. So that's what I'd be looking for on that one. But again, we could get some movement down. But these are going to really provide some issues. Those levels are really going to provide some issues. On the USDCAD on the 4-hour chart, we've got some bullish divergence in here, and this is nice and clean. We're at support, and we've moved, started to move upwards. If I draw a channel, this level up here, 99.03, that's an issue. We're going to need to break above that. So let me go to, yeah, and we're definitely at support down here. So this bullish divergence could really push us up. On the 15-minute chart, here's what I'm looking at. Let me shrink this up a little bit. A couple of things that could happen. Okay, we are stuck between 99.03 and 98.66. So it could really go either way. And this there's about 36 pips in this range. So if we get a clean short, if we get a move upwards and a clean short signal, then we could be moving down, down here. If we get a move down and we get a clean long signal, we could go up here. So we could stay in this range for a while. However, if we break out of this, if we get some nice movement upwards, a breakout and a pullback, and some sort of clean entry to the long side, then we could see as high as 99, 98, parity. We could see $1 on this one. To the short side, if we break out of this range, we could see down around 98.32. So this is what I'd be looking for. And we're at some major support right now. We would definitely like to see this one pop. So we could see parity on this one. That would be kind of nice. That's about 100 looks like 110 pips up. So on the USDCHF, we are kind of doing what we're doing on the EURUSD. We're in a very tight range, and we get ping pong between these two levels. We could, ping pong between 97.46 and 97.32. So we're going to need to see a break out of this range. So if we get a break to the downside, we would need to see some sort of clean entry down to the bottom here at 97.05. Or if we get a break to the upside, we're going to need to see a clean entry up to 97.74. So those are going to be our targets. Those are going to be our points of interest for the day on the EURUSD or on the USDCHF. Overall, though, we've got really nice head and shoulders here. Our left shoulder, our head, and our right shoulder, and all the way down to our neckline is about 220 pips, possibly even 280. So, and we've already broken the neckline here. I like this area for a neckline, so it's about 236 pips. So, we'd be looking really from the bottom of the neckline here. 236 pips is down here right probably around down in this area right here. So, but we're going to have to get clean of all this stuff, and we're just kind of bouncing around right now. So that's what I'll be looking for. If we move to the upside, up in here. If we move to the downside, down in here. You know, but it's really anybody's game. We could even see as low as how far down is that? It's not too bad. It's about 70 pips. We could even see as low as 96.70. So those are our points of interest there. On the USDJPY, we've got some potential bearish divergence on the 15-minute chart, which, you know, we've made some major gains on the dollar this last week against the yen, and we're heading towards some resistance. So what I would like to see, I'd like to see a pullback. I'd like to see some relief here because we've been kind of raging upwards for a while. I'd like to see about a 14 pip drop. I'd like to see price find support right here and then fire off around this level for a good 40 pips upwards. We can see 37 pips the first target, 44 to the second, and then all the way up here 55 to the third target. So that's what I'll be looking for. I'd like to see a clean entry to, if I get a clean entry in this area, I'll break out kind of above these highs and a clean entry. I'll take it up to here, and if I get a clean short off of this level, I'll take it down to here. So in other words, it could go up here and then come down, or it can come down and then move up. So you know, either one of those scenarios. And if it breaks down above or below this, we could see down here as a retracement. If it keeps going, we could see any one of these three targets, or any one of these upper two targets at 79.96. So right around 80. That's a good solid level, or a 79.85. First target would be 79.77 for a long trade. And down here around support is 79.40, and then if we get as low as down here, it's going to be 79.12. So those are the ones that we're going to be looking for. Those are the points of interest. And yeah, I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in another video.